we actually have to be the trailblazers in the new ideation that we believe can move the country forward. Nigeria is blessed, but we have trapped potential.
Aminu Nyako is the Managing Director of Sabor International Farms Limited. He's an economist and public policy expert renowned for his innovation in large-scale projects and global business strategy in emerging markets. Being a passionately patriotic citizen, he also served as Chief of Staff to the senator representing Adamawa Senatorial District in the National Assembly of Nigeria. Please put your hands together for Mr. Aminu Nyako, the Managing Director of the Sabor Group.
Big thank you for the opportunity to be on the panel today. So my name is Aminu M. Nyako. As introduced, I'm the MD of Sabor International Farms. It's a dairy farm located in Adamawa State, so on the other side of Nigeria from Lagos. And we currently are probably the largest dairy processor in Nigeria, processing about 150,000 liters of milk on a daily basis. That's our capacity. Most people think the most perishable product in Nigeria is tomato, because that's what has the headlines. But in all honesty, the most perishable product is milk. And milk is perishable in the nature because once you milk a cow, you actually have to cool the milk to 4 degrees within 2 hours. The question of logistics is of critical importance for us. The question of cold logistics, which is even at a more complicated scale than the actual logistics, is of critical importance. And just the system by which you keep the product or agro-commodity, its quality top-notch, is of critical importance. So to date, we have about 18,000 farmers that span from southern Borno, maybe a stone throw from Sambisa, all the way to Adamawa to Taraba State, the Mambila Plateau, and we collect milk from them daily. And we really had to innovate to see how we can establish systems that allow for the milk to come to our factory in its highest and purest form. We process this milk into yogurt, butter, mozzarella cheese. We're the only producers of mozzarella in Nigeria, ghee and ice cream. But what we have leveraged is that we have seen that petrol costs are much more expensive in that part of the country. So we leveraged renewable energy. The factory is completely renewable. We are producing about 5 megawatts of solar power with 5 megawatts of battery. That has allowed us to have an energy smoothing cost and maintain the integrity of the factory. But not only that, we have about 78 collection centers in the local communities as well, that are also powered by solar and batteries. And that has given us, at the first line, at the very communal level, ability to cool the milk at the farmer level. What we realized is the old system that Nigeria relied on when we had cheap energy is no longer viable in the new economy the country will be moving into. And as such, I think private sector and maybe other panelists here can shed more light. We actually have to be the trailblazers in the new ideation that we believe can move the country forward. Nigeria is blessed, but we have trapped potential. I really do think that moving forward, government and other private people that want to enter the logistics space have to enter it in such a major way. I think the logistics cost in Nigeria is still probably one of the highest globally. Our forefathers believed that the roads that they should create should go through every major town. And as such, you would snake through the entire Nigeria to get to Lagos. And you're skipping viable customer bases, viable markets. So you find it very difficult moving products within the country as opposed to outside the country. So for us right now, I know the government is looking at CNG, LNG, electric vehicles, but I think we need major highways and rail that can be able to fully unlock the value, especially if you're going into perishables like milk, meat, vegetables, and food.
The challenge. I'm going to echo some of what Aminu has said, actually. I think they're largely in two parts. One is the high cost. And I know some of you will always say, yeah, we always say that high cost. But the cost of diesel, the FX situation in terms of maintaining these logistics vehicles has significantly increased the cost of shipping goods.
So it's interesting, up north, the cows are owned by the men, but the milk are owned by the women. So typically, when a man gets married, he gives the woman cows. So she's going to sell the milk and make money to take care of the family.
Adamawa, they are level physicians. It's Adamawa. People are Lagos big boys. Hello, how you doing? For interest rates, Aminu, Nyako, pleasure. Back then, our parents and someone else to tell you, oh, this is how we made wealth. The moment oil and gas entered, we lost sight of it. So a lot of times I thought, okay, I have a farmer in my program. He has 220 cows. He lives in a hut. Okay, that man makes 1.3 million naira every month. He doesn't pay tax, government doesn't know him. He's balanced there. His diet is very simple. In his farm, he has baobab, he has tamarind, he farms maize and soybean, he has milk. Wake up, you grind kunu, you drink milk, small rice. Like, so when I see this guy and I pay him, every week he earns like 375k. I'll tell you, the farmer that earns 1.2 million now every month. He earns about 375k a week. Okay. That guy has 200 cows, only 20 are milking. It's 20 that are giving this back. So even if you're collecting the 1 liter from them, if you can get 80% of the head, 120 cows giving 1 liter, you are finished. The highest consumer of gum arabic worldwide is Coca-Cola. So you need a leadership that can literally sit down and consolidate your resource and say, okay, this is what we need to do to unlock so and so, and invest in it. Speaking from the dairy space, the three things are: one, access to technology. The second thing that I've seen that is critical is the application of renewable energy to processing and semi-processing of agro-produce in Africa. This mainly can be seen within our program. We have 5 megawatts of power installed, with 5 megawatts of battery installed on our farm that allows us to have energy smoothing to process milk into different dairy products. Almost all our collection centers as well, located in various local communities, are also on renewable energy. And renewable energy as an innovation has allowed us to have decentralized energy systems that have taken power to where power is needed to unlock value for agro farmers. And lastly for us is the influence of technology in aggregation, communication, traceability and accountability of agro produce. A lot of the agro produce that are prevalent in Africa are owned by smallholder farmers, which are extremely diversified. And only technology can be leveraged in order to be able to organize them, integrate them, educate them, and aggregate at scale that can help unlock Africa's value. A lot of regulatory hurdles that need to be accessed comes into two main things, which is energy access and secondly, logistics. These two things are probably at the top line to unlocking value for agro farmers. The last one I would say is input costing. If policymakers can look at these three broad categories, which is improving logistics for agro produce within and outside the country, providing access to agro inputs, so improved seedlings, cheaper fertilizers, and access to knowledge, And lastly, like I said, energy, so that we can start using mechanized agriculture to increase productivity. I think policy around this direction would unlock Africa's agro-produce in a very major way. If I'm being honest, this is my first time being in the mentor matchup challenge, and I think the organizers 234 Finance have done a fantastic job bringing a diverse group of industry leaders in the agro space, in the fintech space, in trade, fashion, and I honestly believe that this is their fifth go around, and it shows the level of organization that has been brought to bear is fantastic. And I think more of this has to be done to elucidate people's minds about what the potential of Nigeria is and what we can bring to the world in the future.